Good afternoon, everyone. Sahrdaya Institute of Management Studies has always set its own standards, and we all are going to witness another great achievement, which is a result of the strong bond between Sahrdaya and All India Management Association. We, the Simsians, will be proud to say that the first AIMA BIZLAB in South India is in our Royal campus. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, today we all are gathered here for the SIMS-AIMA BIZLAB, the Business Simulation and Data Analytics Lab inauguration. Sahrdaya Institute of Management Studies as all. Let me invite our beloved chairman, Bishop of Irnalakoda Diocese, Mar Poli Kanukadan, onto the dais. I would like to acknowledge the presence of AIMA Director, Center for Management Development, Mr. Neeraj Kapoor, and AIMA Deputy Director, Dr. Ravi Jangra, who is attending the function through online mode.
Good afternoon, Mr. Neeraj is joining.
Let me invite our Executive Director, Reverend Father, Dr. Gino Joni Malakaran, and our Director, Dr. George AP, onto the dais. I would like to invite Dr. Divya P. Velayudan, Faculty in charge of Data Analytics, on the stage. I welcome our Student Coordinator, Nigel George, onto the dais. To begin this function, let us invoke the blessings of Almighty. Let me invite the SIMS choir to lead the prayer. Kindly rise.
Hi, Ravi. Thank you. Please be seated. Amidst us, we have an inspiring personality who is indeed a model for all of us in his dynamism and energy. Let me invite our Executive Director, Reverend Father, Dr. Gino Joni Malakaran, for the welcome address.
Most respected, Your Excellency Mar Poli Kanukadan, Chairman of Sahrdaya Institute of Management Studies, Mr. Neeraj Kapoor, Director of Center for Management Development, All India Management Association, Dr. Ravi Jangra, Deputy Director, All India Management Association, beloved Director of the Institute, Dr. George AP, a faculty representative, Dr. Divya, student representative, Mr. Nigel, dear faculty colleagues, my dear students. This is the day Sahrdaya Institute of Management Studies been looking forward to see for the last 1.5 years. The whole discussion started years before. And in the culmination of time, I'm so happy to say we touched that point and we are in that moment. Every now and then, there are many revolutionary changes happening in the world of industry as well as in the world of academia. Two buzzwords or two important changes that's happening in the world of academia today. One is an introduction of a new pedagogy, a new learning experience. That's the word indicates, business simulation. Today, management institutions are really trying their level best to keep the learning process the most enjoyable and interesting. And for that purpose, people are actually looking for something very innovative. And that's the place business simulations comes into the picture. And another important change that's happening in the world of business education is related to data analytics. How can we make more sense from a given data so that we take right decisions to drive our life and the business? These two concepts, business simulation and data analytics, they are very closely related. We know that end of the day, any businessman would love to see what's happening with the business in terms of numbers. And they want to know whether the decisions they are taken for the purpose of running a business applied in the right manner and is it effective to the best. And that's what these two things will help. And since these two concepts are very closely connected, we thought we will put it together and we call this lab Business Simulation Data Analytics Lab. I'm so thankful to All India Management Association. They really helped this institute in many ways. And the very inception of this institute, we remember that All India Management Association was willing to put the Management First Olympiad in this campus. And we cherish beautiful memories regarding Management Olympiad. And this is the second most powerful event that we are doing together with All India Management Association. Mr. Neeraj Kapoor and Dr. Ravi Jangra, two pillars of All India Management Association, they were very energetic and a great visionaries, I would say, could help this institution to bring or to make a change in the domain of business education. With this note, let me enter into my responsibility. Now, if you ask me, what gives the courage and inspiration for this institute to do something different, I would say our chairman is our source of inspiration. Bishop Marpoli Kannukadan, a very vibrant and a great visionary who always give immense support to do whatever meaningful or whatever important for the purpose of developing our students. And that's the core purpose why our diocese is so much interested and invested in this campus. And with all respect and humbleness, I take this opportunity to welcome our chairman, His Excellency Bishop Marpoli Kannukadan, to this meeting. Mr. Neeraj Kapoor and Dr. Ravi Jangra, two important personalities representing All India Management Association. As I told, the great visionaries. You know, when business education started to take some sort of change in the way it's been delivered, AIMA could visualize it. Mr. Neeraj and Dr. Ravi, they could see after some time, this sort of a change would happen in the domain of business education. And for that purpose, we need something to help the institutions. That's where AIMA visualized BIZLAB software. You know it already. This is a simple artificial intelligence powered or based simulated environment of business, wherein you can actually apply all the learnings that you acquired from the classrooms, and you can run a business and see whether that business is making some sense or is it meaningful to run a business. So the beauty of All India Management Association is that they can foresee, or they could foresee, some sort of important or significant change that would happen in this domain. Mr. Neeraj and Dr. Ravi Jangra could take the leadership, and they are the two important personalities, really motivated us and convinced us, okay, this is an important thing which can make a significant change in your students. And thanks for this insight. And I welcome Mr. Neeraj Kapoor and Dr. Ravi Jangra to this gathering.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Our beloved Dr. George AP, Director of the Institute, is very much here on the stage. My students will always say he's the most vibrant person in this campus. And I would agree with my students. He is the powerful and very vibrant, energetic director that any institute can have. And we are fortunate to have Dr. George AP. And on behalf of everyone gathered here, I welcome you, sir. Dr. Divya P. Velayudan, our faculty representative. She is very innovative in her thinking. And you know, if you look at her portfolio, you can see anything related to creativity and innovation that goes to Dr. Divya. And I should also acknowledge that it was the dream of Sahrdaya Institute of Management to do something different from the regular university curriculum. And we thought it must be something related to data science. At that point of time, she volunteered to design a course and give it to you as an audit course. And I understand our senior students are currently going through that course, and they are in a way confident to deal with some data available, at least for their project. We know this session or this course being interrupted by the troubles of COVID-19. Still, I'm thankful to Dr. Divya that she could help our students to a great extent understanding the underlying dynamisms of data science. On behalf of everyone, I welcome you, Dr. Divya. Mr. Nikhil, our student representative. Immediately after any batch joining here for the MBA program, faculty members are very smart to identify the most vibrant student from the group. It's for many purposes, actually. And you know, behind everything that happens in Sahrdaya Institute of Management Studies, we can see the touch of our master, Nikhil. So on behalf of everyone, I welcome you to this gathering. While we inaugurate this lab today, the hope and belief of this institute is very simple. With this facility, we believe there will be a significant difference among the graduates of Sahrdaya Institute of Management Studies, and you can create a very competitive, sustainable competitive edge among all the MBA graduates, so that we believe you will be best in terms of employability, and you'll do great in your professional career. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, Father. The beginning that we are going to witness now is a strong seed that may grow to create the best decision makers and innovative managers. Let me invite our beloved chairman, Bishop of Irunalakuda Diocese, His Excellency Mar Poli Kanukaran, for the inaugural address of SIMS-AIMA BIZLAB, Business Simulation and Data Analytics Lab.
Respected Mr. Neeraj Kapoor, the Director of Center for Management Development, All India Management Association, Dr. Ravi Jangra, the Deputy Director, AMA, Father Dr. Gino Johnny Malakaran, our Executive Director, SIMS, Dr. George AP, our Director, SIMS, Dr. Divya PV, and Mr. Nikhil, dear Father Dr. Binoy and other faculty members and staff members, and my dear students, a very good afternoon to everyone. Let me start by stating that I feel proud, delighted, and optimistic to be standing here today on such a momentous occasion to deliver the inaugural address for SIMS-AIMA Business Simulation and Data Analytics Lab. Proud because we have been able to form what we hope to be a long and fruitful association with the All India Management Association. Delighted at the fact that Sahrdaya Institute of Management Studies has managed to pioneer the first All India Management Association certified business simulation and data analytics lab in the entire South Indian region. And optimistic to see how the students at SIMS will now be able to practice in real time all the theoretical principles that are taught to them as a part of their MBA program. This project was a result of exploring the possibility of using artificial intelligence powered business simulation software as a training tool for management students. This vision has now materialized in the form of SIMS-AIMA Business Simulation and Data Analytics Lab. And today, we stand witness to the completion of a labor of love and dedication for our students. I commend Mr. Neeraj and Mr. Ravi from the All India Management Association team, as they have been an instrumental part of forming this association with AMA, and for the constant support SIMS has received from them. I would also like to express my appreciation for the foresight shown by Father Dr. Gino and Dr. George to explore new ways to accelerate learning process our students, heighten their engagement level, and ultimately leads to students having a competitive edge over other business graduates in terms of their business acumen and employability. This project is a direct result of their dedication to achieve just that. I would also like to appreciate the openness that the faculty team of SIMS has shown in embracing this new technological tool for the betterment of their students' learning experience. As it is my understanding that all the faculty members here at Sahrdaya Institute of Management Studies are now certified AMA BIZLAB software trainers. And in turn, they will now be able to help the students use this facility at its maximum possible potential. This project will also lead to the fulfillment of the mission statement of this institution, which states that it aims at developing professionally and socially committed, progressive, fair-minded managers, educators, and entrepreneurs. What better way can we use to see if our graduates are likely to uphold the great values mentioned in the mission statement than by using the AMA business simulation software, which will help students act out in real time the role of an entrepreneur or of a business professional within a simulated business environment. Over and above the plethora of benefits that our students will have from this facility, I take great pride in sharing with the audience the larger vision we have for this project. A vision which hopes to use this project as a tool to contribute positively to our society. The project will be opened up and made accessible to aid various rural entrepreneurship schemes that will be championed through this institution in the days to follow. I now end by praying to the Almighty God that this project may help forward His will by helping the students of Sahrdaya become positive contributors to the society and also help us reach the ultimate goal of a better society for everyone at large. With this, I now declare the SIMS-AIMA Business Simulation and Data Analytics Lab as inaugurated. Wish you all the best and may God bless you. Thank you very much.
Now we will be having the inauguration of SIMS-AIMA BIZLAB, Business Simulation and Data Analytics Lab. I would like to request His Excellency Bishop Mar Polly Kanukadan to publish the IMA accredited institution certificate to Sahrdaya Institute of Management Studies. Let me invite Reverend Father Dr. Gina Joni Malakaran and our director Dr. George AP, who received the certificate in the virtual presence of IMA representatives, IMA Director, Center for Management Development, Mr. Miraj Kapoor, and IMA Deputy Director, Dr. Ravi Jankra. Thank you, Your Excellency. It is indeed. It is indeed an honor to have the presence of Mr. Neeraj Kapoor, Director of Center for Management Development, IMA, and he will be delivering the keynote address. I would like to invite Ms. Anne-Marie Johnson to introduce the guest to the audience.
Good afternoon, all. Mr. Neeraj Kapoor has 25-year experience, having worked both on big brands and in large agencies. He has worked with MNCs like Philips, Osram Siemens, Gillette and Bates 141, and Indian corporates such as Sifi Limited, with his last stint being with HT Media as the head of strategy, planning and operations with Fever Entertainment. Currently, he's the director, Center for Management Development at IMA, a department which is into setting up platforms for executive training and learning. The 3 divisions under the department look after flagship events of IMA, retreats in various functions like HR, digital marketing and leadership, national competitions under business simulation, and competitions and quiz categories. He is a BCom holder from Delhi University and holds an MBA in international business. He has done his course and works accountancy and has served in functions such as business development, client servicing, operations, and strategic planning. He has been a keen concept person and has been instrumental in setting up large properties in the commercial, corporate, and entertainment fields. In his various stints, he has been able to make contacts with semi-government trade bodies and across corporate networks pertaining to large turnkey activations. His work takes him to the hotspots of innovation around the world like Silicon Valley, China, and recently Israel. He's a strong votary of integrating academic vigor with industry integration and has a belief in incorporating industry-relevant curriculum from the very start. He is a keen trainer and has been a faculty at IMT, IMA, MKU, and Mount Carmel Business School. His favorite pastimes are traveling extensively around the world, in-depth reading on international relations, contemporary issues, and writing short stories and articles. He has some published works of short stories and articles. He is currently enrolled in his doctorate program in management with specialization in new age marketing and its dynamics. It is indeed an honor to have Mr. Neeraj, and I welcome him for the keynote address.
Thank you so much, Chairman, IDET, His Excellence Bishop Kanakudan, Dr. George, Director SIMS, Father Dr. Gino Johnny Malakaran, Executive Director of SIMS, Divya, and Mr. Nikhil. All friends here today, it is a day which is of great honor to IMA. And as we all know, IMA is the apex body for management in the country. It's a great honor for us to be present today, in a virtual mode, to inaugurate one of the first labs, business simulation labs in that part of the country. First of all, my heartiest congratulations to the entire management of SIMS for taking this ambitious, bold, and innovative step to have such a lab present, such an innovative lab present in their premises. This is not my first interaction with your institute. I have had the pleasure of being present during the 2-day management Olympiad, student management Olympiad that we did way back in March 2017. And I had the honor of visiting the campus, interacting with students and the management and the faculty of your institute. And to say the least, I was much thrilled. Lot of great ideas, lot of freshness of approach, lot of focus on student development. And I would really forever cherish those memories. So thank you so much for having us once again on the campus. It is rather strange. I mean, while we all talk about the future, I think it will be very interesting to kind of mull over as to what has happened over the last 1.5 to 2 years. And as my brief introduction said, one of the keenest things that and one of the closest things to my heart in my present work is my travel to some hotbeds of innovation. I had a rare privilege of visiting some of the finest companies in the world which are in the arena of innovation. We do this program every June, the last week of June in the Silicon Valley, which is the original hotbed of innovation. And we know where the sizable wealth of this world lies. The sizable wealth of the world lies in places where there is sizable amount of innovation, and that is the Silicon Valley. The top 10 companies, the top most valued 10 companies in the world right now, I think them are based out of that place. So that brings me to a very pertinent question as to what really creates that kind of a environment on an ecosystem, where people are able to create so much of hidden value, which is there locked up, in the challenges of our day. So if we were to look at certain ideas, if we really turn the clock backwards and imagine the world in 2006, which was exactly 15 years from now, we had no Facebook, we had no Google, we had no online payment systems like PayPal, and there were very, very few other avenues which were digitally viable. Today, in just over a decade and a half, the entire landscape of the world has undergone a sea change. Today, those things which were not in existence 50 years ago are the ones which are ruling the roost. And it is not without a reason. There's some reason to it. And there is somebody who saw the future. There was somebody who invested in that future. And there was somebody who derived a lot of value from that future. And that is the hallmark of companies. I am very fortunate that we do 2 programs every year in the Silicon Valley, barring the last 2 years. And one of these programs with very senior executives, where take them to the hotbeds of innovation. We go to companies like Google, Cisco, IBM, PayPal, other financial companies, electricity companies, power companies. So every year when I go to them, I think there is one thing which is unique about them, that every year, each year, they have something new to talk about. And that is why those companies are at places where they are, because their idea is to continuously keep on innovating. And how do they innovate? I think one of the basics of innovation lies in the fact where you are able to understand the needs of the future customer. And that is what Facebook did. If you see, it's a great simple idea where you could be digitally connected to your friends and relatives and everybody, and you can update every bit of your life to them at a click of. And that was a simple idea. Today, that idea is so overpowering. And I'm sure most of you would have graduated into some form of Instagram, Snapchat, and other things. But at the same time, it is the Facebook generation that we are part of. Facebook has brought the world closer. It hung the world. It has made challenges in any part of the world as their own challenges, as the challenges of the world, as the challenges of the globe, right? Many revolutions, and not like to reiterate them, have happened because somebody decided to post it on the Facebook and it became a revolution. So what I'm trying to say is that the idea, the strength of an idea would always unlock a lot of value into any system. When I went to China, and while we can have very classified opinion about that country, but I was elated to meet some of the 5 companies which were not only innovating, but which were deploying those solutions to the millions. And that makes it a very, very interesting case study. In fact, when we look at China, it is the India of no, it is the India of the future. Our problems are very similar. Our nations are our challenge. Our regional disparities are our challenge. Our largeness of area is our challenge. Our financial inclusivity is our challenge. Our technology access is our challenge. So they have had those problems, and they're still, by the way. I mean, outside it looks absolutely fine, but there are challenges that they face on a daily basis. But what has happened in that country is that a lot of innovative ideas which were germinated by the youth like you, by some very young people, by some people who had returned from the US after getting education. They said, let's make a new country, let's make a new nation. And the way they were backed up by the ecosystem, of creating wealth. More than 600 million people pulled out of poverty, not only by the government, but by the initiative and the wealth generated by these companies. So that's another example of innovation which is deployable, which is not at 30,000 feet, which is very close to the earth, and which makes an impact on a daily basis. Then it takes me to Israel. Israel, again, is a very unique place where there is a lot of innovation which is happening, big and small. It's not a very large country, unlike India. The population is not even 9 million, which is, if I were to say, half the population of Delhi, where I live, which is relatively a small city. So what I'm trying to say is that they have created so much, and cyber security, which is the future, genetics, which is again the future, nanotechnology, biotechnology. These are the things which are being talked about by every small startup there. They're giant strides in creating agricultural output which the world has not seen ever. 22 times more than per hectare as that in India. And I'm not trying to demean India, but they have created an oasis in the desert, where by using such small quantities and limited quantities of water, using hybrid seeds, using drones to the worst affected parts in the field and all, they have been able to create or have an harvest which is 22 times per hectare more than what we get in India. So imagine, these are the solutions for the problems that we are currently likely to face or are likely to face in the future. Water is a challenge, and we all know that, we discussed that. But are we finding enough solutions to find substitute to water, to use it more judiciously? Food will become a challenge. Are we trying to find solutions to the challenges of scarcity of food in the future? We would see declining outputs across the world. Are we trying to find reasons? Are we trying to cull cancer at its very, very early stage? Are we capable of doing that? So these are the questions that they are trying to address. And it's a beautiful country to learn from, because what we learned there was that some amount of rigor, some amount of ecosystem provided by the government, and some amount of freedom actually and private enterprise actually leads to a situation where young people like you get the opportunity to bloom. And as we have always been saying that the future belongs to the young. And I think this statement has never been so profound as it is right now. We are a very young country. We are a country which has got great potential, not only in terms of the challenges that we have, but also in terms of young force like you, young trained force like you. You are the future of this country. And when I say that, it is not a mere statement. It is actually the fact. It is the fact that people like you who are today studying in prestigious institutes, learning new things, when you get together, there is a power which has a lot of value locked in it. So while we can talk about countries which have done well, I think I'm elated to share, and I quote that everywhere, that India is no less. We are the third largest startup ecosystem in the world, which is a matter of great pride for us. In fact, today is a very, very interesting day for me, because today, The biggest news that I read today was that NICA's Falguni Nayyar, who was recently awarded with AIMA's award, prestigious Managing India Award for the best entrepreneur of the year, today is the first female homegrown billionaire in the country. And this is something that we should all be so proud of, that I think it should be taught as a syllabus in every institute, because it is possible. It is possible where a woman who was already doing so well in a corporate job quit that and started something that she had belief in. There was a challenge, and she started to work on that. And today she has been valued for $5.6 billion as of today. So, I mean, that's something. And it's not about only creating value. It is not about creating wealth for yourself. It is about generating an idea which has so much of potential and gives employment to so many people. I think employability is another challenge that our country faces. We work with a lot of artificial intelligence companies. We work with a lot of startups, courtesy being AIMA and all that. And what we have heard them saying is that India is the lab for innovation for the next 6 billion people on this planet. And I cannot agree more with that, because we are a country of paradox. We have the richest people in the world on one hand, and we have people who are still in abject poverty, and our hunger indices are amongst the highest in the world. So there are challenges. There are people I know in the young setup who are trying to help farmers sell their products better at a better price without moving the material to the mandis every day in the morning, and making that long trek to the mandi and back and all. And these are the startups who are helping them ascertain the best price for their output when they are not forced to do a distress sale in the mandi since they have reached. So there are great ideas that we encounter. In fact, some of the key areas where we are working with whole lot startups is the area of infrastructure, which is actually a big challenge right now. Now the area of healthcare. In fact, opening hospitals would be one way of addressing the healthcare challenge that we have. But creating an ecosystem and an infrastructure for remote diagnostics, for distant understanding and medication and all of that. So, I mean, there are a whole lot of areas, and these challenges, let me tell you, do not have potential only for India. They have potential much beyond the entire African continent, if you'd ask me. The great continent, which is Latin and South America, I mean, the challenges are just the same. Large populations, under serviced infrastructure and all that. So we all to kind of innovate here in India, because this is the laboratory for the rest of the 6 billion, and innovate it well. And we're able to do that. I'm assuring you that the unicorns, and when we say unicorns, I do not really know there is a $1 billion valuation that you have to it. But it's an idea which is so right. And believe you me, people like you, young people like you have been able to do it, right? In fact, if you see the latest billionaires that we have in the country, apart from the businesses, there'll be people who have virtually no pedigree of having large factories, large brands, large houses, large families, and all that. They're all newbies. Look at Paytm. Look at the Bansal friends. In Flipkart. Licious is one of the recent unicorns. So there's so many of those examples in India, and it would only grow from here, because we have a good and great strong market. We have challenges which are galore. We have regional diversities, we have regional challenges, and you are very fortunate that you are learning to be professionals in a country which is just the right place to be in at this point of time. Now, AIMA Business Lab, while we were trying to create it, I think the entire idea was to expose young managers in the learning space like you are right now, to simulate it, to understand what the business challenges are. And by the way, while every organization has some tolerance to making mistakes and to losing money. But let me tell you, I think finally are those people who make minimum amount of those mistakes. And BIZLAB software is designed just to do that. While you get to use the software over and over again, you get sensitized to the various decision processes, to prudent decision making. You are able to see the impact of your decisions. You are able to compete with others as to how they are faring. The best part is you do not stand to lose even a single dollar. And that's the best, that's the beauty of it, that while you take all challenges, you take all risks, you compete with each other, you rack your brains, you do it again and again, you compete with others, but you never stand to lose a dollar. And that is where the BIZLAB professionals will be ahead of the normal professionals. I think His Excellency Chairman pointed this out, and so did Father. And which was interesting to note that people who would be exposed to these kind of ideas or these kind of learnings would stand a greater chance of making lesser number of mistakes, not only becoming managers in the future in large organizations and in their own setups, but becoming leaders who are accountable for the results of their action. That is what we should all embrace, right? And the entire genesis of the BIZLAB is precisely that. While you compete on an individual basis, lots compete amongst yourselves. There is a learning mechanism that has been created by AIMA. Your faculty today has been trained by AIMA master trainer. They are completely capable of guiding you and hand-holding you in this entire process of learning, in this entire journey of learning, I'd say. And they are also available for any major roadblocks that you might encounter on the way. And that is the beauty of this infrastructure. And it is real time. You get to see the results. You are able to see how the others are faring. You are able to set your own benchmarks and try achieve. So in all, this BIZLAB has been created with the perspective of making you compete with yourself, making you a better professional. I would sincerely like to congratulate your management for taking such a beautiful and student favoring step, which is an important one. You should be proud that your management has provided you a world-class software right in your campus. But I think it is now your accountability to pay it back by using it extensively, coming back to us, asking questions from us, inquiring more on things that I get stuck up with, emerging at the top. That's something that I would wish, because every time I inaugurate this BIZLAB, my only appeal to the students is that please use it extensively. This is a world-class thing which is given to you or gifted to you by your institute. Let's try to pay them back by using it as much as possible. So with those thoughts, I again like to dedicate this lab to the students of SIMS. And I just wish and I just hope that this particular program or this particular initiative aids you in becoming better students and better manager leaders tomorrow. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed a pleasure and blessing to listen to your words of wisdom. Thank you once again. We heard a lot about AIMA BIZLAB. It will be great if you could hear from AIMA officials themselves on the same. We have Dr. Ravi Jangra, Deputy Director of AIMA, who will give a brief introduction about AIMA business simulation software. Let me invite Ms. Surya S. to introduce the guests to the audience.
Good afternoon, all. Dr. Ravi Jangra is a reformist and innovator in implementing business projects and well-networked and specialized in business consulting domain with more than 20 years of experience in leadership roles strategic development and alliances, business continuity, innovation, and research. His area of specialization is into identifying new market opportunity, research, product development, international relations, strategic alliances, corporate communication, setting up team for new ventures, brand building, marketing and sales, and expansion planning. He is also interested in new markets development, backed with understanding of primary and secondary market research and competitive market positioning. In existing markets, development of newer customer segments has been a success factor for Dr. Ravi. Product and platforms innovation coincides at all stages for him. Dr. Ravi has been an expert in client and vendor relationships at all levels, directly and indirectly through teams. It is indeed an honor to have Dr. Ravi, and I welcome him to introduce the BIZLAB concept briefly to the audience.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thanks to management of Sahrdaya group of institution, I'll say, because the agreement is done along with the Sahrdaya group of institution, not only SIMS. Yes, but SIMS is the main entity for us to work on that. Before I giving a brief about this our ecosystem lab, I would like to just give you just two insight how we have reached to this decision of making a lab. So in 2016, when we had a discussion about how to engage more on simulation activities, because IMA is pioneer in bringing simulation activities in India and since last 30 years. So me and Mr. Neeraj were sitting on the roundtable discussion, and the question he was asked about first thing on what the point which he's very inclined towards that part, and always a kind of a challenge for me, that is innovation. Second thing is engagement with the student. So these are the 2 points which we were looking for, the continuous engagement with the students. We were doing a lot of brainstorming, and fortunately I got a chance to visit SIMS institution in 2017 February, because we were thinking about this conducting IMA Management Olympiad in Thrissur, Kerala region, I will say, more not only Thrissur, because we cut the entire Kerala that time. And I had a chance to meet Dr. George, one of my old known because of his earlier stint in another education institution. So it took only 5 minutes to decide, let's go for the Management Olympiad. So the kind of vision which Father Dr. Gino was also talking about. So sir, Father Gino, just I would like to brief you here that innovation, so the vision is not about limited to IMA. You are also having the same kind of vision in the SIMS institution, and this is the kind of gene in your group of institution, because as I mentioned, it just took 2 minutes to decide, yes, we will go for a Management Olympiad, first ever in South India. And again, the same thing happened in 2020 January, till the time COVID was just a buzzword for us. And I still remember in the month of February, February is lucky for me. I had a discussion with Dr. George about BIZLAB, and immediately he said that, Ravi, definitely we are going for this, and whatever process is there, just let me know, and we will go for that. But there are certain compliance issues which we need to follow. And even in COVID situation in 2021 April, we have done this engagement. And there is a process for engagement, because when we charted the entire ecosystem for management education, the first thought for us was, being as a IMA, we will implement this lab where the institution is keen to implement and impart the best out of it. Nothing just to showcase or just like that. And believe me, it took me a lot of time to charter the entire education program with SIMS. It took only 5 minutes to decide that we are going for a BIZLAB, but to make an entire structure align with your course curriculum, making a course paper, everything, the entire team, Father Dr. Gino, Dr. George, Dr. Divya, Nivita, and we have done a lot of deliberation on this thing. Because the idea of the simulation lab is not just to give a simulation software. It is a lab system where it is an ecosystem. As Mr. Neeraj was just mentioning, that it is an ecosystem where you are competing with yourself also, and learning from other people also. And we want to go for a continuous learning. That is our motto. As Ms. Neeraj was sharing about the achievement of Ms. Faguni Nayak today from Nayaka, the same thing is happening. She left the job, but for competition, her competition was with herself only. And today she achieved some position. So tomorrow is not an easy day for her, because tomorrow is another challenge for her to retain the position which she achieved today. And the same thing we wanted to give you in the academics time, because the idea, the college, the university, the institution is giving you best of the infrastructure, best of the faculties, best of the knowledges, industrial experts, lectures, so many things. But when we talk about management, because management is not science, management, there is a lot of if and buts, there is a lot of causal factor, there is a lot of permutation and combination, and there is a lot of uncausal factors also which impact your business, because sometimes you don't take any decisions, still you got a benefits, not because of your right decision, because of the wrong decision of other person or competitors. So that's what we wanted to give you in this IMA BIZLAB. So IMA BIZLAB will be helping you to churn out the entire management practices in three parts. One is enterprise knowledge, where you will be divided in a teams, and you will be working as a CEO, CFO, CMO. Your faculties, certified trainer, faculties and certified trainer will be anchoring the entire program, and you will be competing with other group of students, same like the way we work in the corporates. You need to convince your marketing head, a finance head, your CEO to take some decisions. Being as a CMO, you need to convince your CFO, yes, I want to give more discount, but why? How we can get benefit out of those things, what kind of strategy we need to make, what kind of infrastructure we have. Then CEO will come there and overall decision will be taken as a CEO and the group of, so team building, convincing, talking to the other department. That is what we required always in the enterprise learning, and that's what we wanted to impart. Because we don't want you to limit to the silos of your department. Like, for example, if I am a marketing person, my idea is just to get the branding and activities done, nothing to do with the finance, nothing to do with the product. No, it is not like that. That is the idea which we wanted to always impart in your learnings, because we want you to use the same language when company is coming for the placement and they want to hear in that particular nomenclature, like what kind of things you will be putting on the table to the management, how you are going to benefit it as a selected candidate for any kind of job. The other learning we wanted as again the second word which is close to Mr. Neeraj, that is innovation along with startups. And believe me, it is whenever I still remember, I'm just diverting for 30 seconds. When he was in 2017 in June in US, he sent some details with me. There are so many things going in education, what we are doing. He never said that what you are doing, he said that what we are doing. And that's the way we thought about to launch this lab, because we wanted you to help to create jobs also in the India. That's why we thought about, let's go for entrepreneurship learning also, where entire decision will be taken care by you, but with the virtual competitors, where real-time virtual competitors. So you will be again working with competing with artificial engines, Autobots, where they will be learning your steps, they will be competing with you, and you will be attaining some position out of that. But again, as we were just talking about Ms. Faguni Pathak, Faguni Nayak, same day, second day, you need to run for the same competition again. Maybe tomorrow you are on the first position, second day I can be on the first position. So these are the learnings which we want you to impart in enterprise learning and entrepreneurship learning. At the same time, we have an assessment model also from the institution side, because we want you to take it very seriously, because there is a credit score for you. So you need to take a fast decision also, because these days it is all about how to take fast decisions, this power of decision making. Why? Because the moment COVID has started, and suddenly at the evening 8 o'clock we got to know that from tomorrow onward there is a lockdown and we cannot go out of sight. So we cannot shut down our businesses. We need to take some decision, and that to be very fast, because there is a lot of nitty-gritties to run any business, perishable amounts, money stacking somewhere. So how to work on those things. So that's why we have an assessment model also, where you have a time limit of 3 hours to give all the decisions which you will be taking for running a corporate. So that is the power we want you to learn for the fast decision making. And out of that, when we are talking about, the best part is that when we go to the real time, I'm talking about since 1999 when I started my career, and I'm sure everybody, senior people will be agree with me. We were a lot of challenges how to calculate the our decision is right or wrong, how to see the impact. So that is the best provision of this business lab, where you can see the result within stupid time of 21 hours of the or 24 hour the workshop, 8 hours, 4 hour, whatever mechanism we are going through, that we can immediately see the impact and we can learn, unlearn and relearn. That is the idea, you to go in the business model. So that is the way, and you are not going to lose anything. Unfortunately, you are not going getting gain of digital currency like we get in a Paytm or some kind of another game. But at the same time, you will be getting a lot of indirect gain, that is business learning through gamification. These are the motto of this business lab. I would like to thanks to Bishop because he is the torchbearer of this entire institution, group of institution, and we are lucky to be part of that. And Father Dr. Gino, Dr. Joe, Dr. Divya, thank you very much. And because these faculties are our extended member of AIMA, also partner, because the even including executive director Father Dr. Gino, he's also our certified trainer now. So lucky to have you in the AIMA certified trainer faculties, and all of you will be AIMA BIZLAB gamer now, not a student. You are a business professional like us. You are a business gamer now, and we have one motto which we always say, that happy business gaming. Thank you very much.
So much. I would say that, thank you so much for extending all the support to the institute. Right, whenever we have given me absolutely freedom to talk to you any point of time, and you're there to help us. Right, in our growth, you are always there. I know that. Thank you so much, Ravi, for all your support in making this happen here. And I'm also seeing that Mr. Vijay Singh, the assistant director, AIMA, is also attending this program, who is the master trainer. Ms. Shalini Goyal is taking care of all the guest relations and other communications. She was also attending. I was just watching. Thank you, Vijay sir and Shalini, for being present in this ceremonious occasion. Right. Now, I would like to thank Reverend Father Gino Joni, our Executive Director, for making it really happen, actually. In spite of all these discussions, finally it came through Dr. Gino. So thank you, Acha, for making it happen, for giving our students different things. Now, the last, I would like to thank all my faculty colleagues, Binoy Achan, all my faculty colleagues and technical team, my dear students. Since the time is up for your time for the bus, I sign off. Thank you so much. Let us make it a great day. and let us go with that great power of making the difference. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jyotsa. We are almost towards the end of this program. Let me call the SIMS choir to recite the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you all for being part of this program. Have a wonderful evening.